political belief. This was a political assassination. It's called domestic terrorism.
So listen, real quickly, look at Matt's PTR and look at all the people who are calling for violence.
Those are absolutely just people.
What do you do with
Definitely left wing.
This is what Free's asking. What do you do with people that want the next person to die, DJ?
Say it again.
What do you want to do with the person that is saying, like in my PTR, they want the next person to die? What do you do with these folks? Like, do we live among them? I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, people want me to die, but I don't advocate them. I don't advocate them to go get arrested because they want me to die. I just pray for these people. I pray that when they leave, when they get in their car right now, a semi truck runs them over. That's all I do.
DJ, I'm gonna tell you full of shit. I'm gonna tell you why. Listen, no. I'm gonna tell you why you're full of shit. If you have people stalking you, sending death threats, or doing things that really disturb your environment, which happened to Charlie Kirk even beforehand, you wouldn't just sit back like, well, they failed. No, you want precautionary action. You want preventive measures. You want the police, the law enforcement to actually go and engage them. Go ahead.
Guess what, Free? When you're a public figure, when you're in the public eye and you say inflammatory things, that's what comes with the territory. You just have to
DJ, you're too smart for this. That's not what we're talking about. That's not what the fuck we're talking about, DJ. And this is the problem. We always do this bullshit where you don't want to deal with the situation at hand. We know what it. No. But that's not what's being disputed, DJ. That's not the fucking argument. We're talking about what to do to fix the fucking problem. You don't want to do. You don't want to address it because you don't want to fix the problem. This is why your base is fucking nuts. There's no problem to be fixed because your base is left leaning. Your base is left leaning.
Now everybody on this app know everybody on this. Maybe you don't know me, but everybody on this app knows that not to be the truth.
You're not left leaning.
I'm actually fuck Pepe. Am I left leaning?
No, he's
Okay.
He's degenerate. He's right leaning.
Yeah, he's
But he
independent on his
hates Charlie
thinking.
Kirk, so he's...
Well, my apologies then. You're right, I didn't know. My apologies. I'll take it back. Okay, fair enough.
Here's my thing. I'm holding the right accountable because I don't like the way my side is behaving now. Because you guys are showing yourself to be no different than the left with this Charlie Kirk thing.
But DJ, again, the right has been offering a hand to the table. All the basket of deplorables. They gave a pause. A lot of conservatives actually said, hey, you know what? For the sake of the country, don't go after fucking Hillary Clinton. After his first election. And pushed him to do that. Literally pushed him to do it. A lot of people were upset by this, but it was a large group of his base that said, please, for the sake of don't go after Hillary Clinton. Let's be done with this shit and let's start fixing the problems at hand. We need to fix fucking shit across the board, and we want our energy focused. It got a little fucked up. I'm not going to say it was perfect. There were some great things. There were some bad things, and there were some things that were just left on the table. And then voila, a pandemic. Then we watched the greatest wealth transfer. Then you have this whole Trump was shot at once, and then there was a second attack planned on him. You had an immediate cancel culture that went through removing prominent people and people, quote, associated with January 6th. Because remember, January 6th was the darkest day in the entire country. That apparently surpassing, slavery, Jim Crow, 9/11, Pearl fucking Harbor, all of those other events. Nothing can compare to January 6th per Nancy Pelosi. So no matter what, this was the horrifying day. And people who weren't even in the Capitol, who were just there, had their bank records exposed, given freely by Bank of America, Wells Fargo. They gave it over without even asking for a warrant, without the FBI saying, hey, here you go. They handed that shit right off to the Biden administration. And then they brought in the security net. They expanded the Capitol Police range. They even put a Capitol Police in California next to Nancy Pelosi, which made no fucking sense to me to have a district there. But then they again made all these provisions and then went up there and attacked it. Remember, draped on either side, a Marine on either side, red highlighted backdrop, and Biden going, the most dangerous threat to America is Trump and his supporters. And literally that was called out. Like that speech on primetime TV came up and Biden said that shit. And guess what? The left ran with that and said it. Remember, they said Catholics were a threat to the country. PTA soccer moms questioning their fucking school boards was fucking accounting to like equal to fucking revolution, and we needed to suppress them. This was the left. They did this stuff, and now because of, you know what, I'm not really comfortable with giving the left a pass. I'm comfortable letting these people have that again. They're shooting, they're doing these things, they're cheering it on, they're egging it on, they're wanting it on. For fuck's sake, Kathy Gifford started off holding a Trump severed head. Like, I mean, where do you want to go? I'm still waiting for people to sit there and go, give me the conservative mainframe. I'm saying that the right will do violence. I'm not saying they're completely innocent, but if we're going to weigh these scales are so heavily weighted in the left side that I'm almost to the point where I don't even want to speak. I don't even care if they're at the table anymore. I really don't care. I don't want them in power. I don't want to hear their thoughts. I don't want to hear their ideas, especially after watching how the left in this country has actually carried itself cheering and saying, let's get rid of all conservatives this way. They wanted the fucking war, let's give it to them. I'm perfectly okay with it. You want to go bullet for bullet, shot for shot, fist for fist, whatever it is, I'm ready for it.
So Brad, I agree with you, bro. And like, I like the fact that Charlie Kirk was going on these college tours, deprogramming this leftist agenda out of these college kids. And he was really putting in work on that front. But here's where he crosses the line. When he starts trying to tear down MLK's legacy, and this is a man who, yes, of course he was a flawed man. Everybody's flawed. But the fact that you want to hyper focus on his flaws versus the fact that this black man, MLK, took a bullet for the love of his people. And you want to tear down his legacy for what? For what? Because I could talk about all the evils of most of the founding fathers. They all had slaves. Andrew Jackson was a fucking murderous psychotic. But we don't talk about that shit because there's no reason.
Because the Democrats on the left don't want to talk about their founding father, which was Andrew fucking Jackson.
So I'm just saying, why tear down a person like MLK, a person who took a bullet because he was trying to free his people, by pointing out the fact that maybe he was a womanizer. Who most famous people are. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you're famous, most likely you're gonna be a womanizer. That's just the reality.
Hey, but DJ, wasn't Charlie open for any intellectual to challenge him on his position on MLK, whether you felt like he was wrong or right? But now we can't do that, right? Because the response was to kill him, right? That's the point that we need to make. I don't think people believe everything that Charlie Kirk says. I voted for Donald Trump, okay? A black man, even though I look like a white man, right? I don't agree with every fucking thing Donald Trump says. I know for a fact, though, he's better than those other ones on the other side. I'd certainly rather have him running the country than those fucking loons running the damn country into the ground, right? So we don't agree with everything that everybody says, but he was open for debate. And what did the left decide to do?
And I would submit he took a bullet for freedom. So why can't we do this, DJ? This comparison that your particular leader that you admire bullet for somebody or for some group of people, I suppose, and then I mean, I don't think it's that far fetched to make those kind of claims.
Yeah, look, because Friday, I understand where you're coming from, but I think you have to, and it's difficult, but I think you have to allow other communities to have their perspective on their icons and who they feel like represents maybe something that other people's community would represent for them. For me, Charlie Kirk was a brother in Christ in the sense that we were both evangelicals, or at least we were both raised that way. So I see him in that sense. I don't see him necessarily as a Martin Luther King, but I do understand from the Zoomer perspective, a younger individual, particularly white men, why in a world where they don't see the American dream being obtainable, why someone like Charlie Kirk, who is not only living the American dream, but showing a pathway to them reclaiming that, why they would see him and his assassination as a Martin Luther King type figure for them. Not that he has to be for you, but that for them and their movement, why he would play that role.
You know, guys, I just want to read you guys just one passage that Sam Harris published regarding the Charlie Kirk incident, or should I say the political assassination of Charlie Kirk. He said something that I found very profound, and there's a lot of truth in it. He says, since deleting my Twitter account nearly 3 years ago, I've generally ignored social media. However, in the last 48 hours, I've spent enough time studying the response to Kirk's death to be further convinced that platforms like X and TikTok are destroying our culture. No metaphor does the problem justice. I've compared social media to a dangerous psychological experiment, a hallucination machine, a funhouse mirror, a digital sewer, but nothing captures the ludicrous insults, moral injuries, and delusions that millions of us avidly produce and consume online. If the medium is the message is mass psychosis, and it will send us careening from one political emergency to the next. The fact that some of the most deranging and divisive content is being created or amplified by foreign adversaries, I agree with that, and that we have literally built and monetized their capacity to do so beggars belief. We are poisoning ourselves and inviting others to poison us. That's a poignant way to put it.
Well, interesting you say that, because is it a coincidence that the pharmaceutical industry and technology, especially the internet, use the same term when they talk about people? They call them users. When they talk about giving you a drug, a sedative, or anything, they call you a user. Users of our product. You're users. So to not think that, I mean, obviously there's going to be negative and positive externalities from it. It depends on who's wielding it and what benefits you get out of it. He who masters whatever controls thought and behavior obviously is attempting to get a result out of it. It's just like the story of the Wizard of Oz. Who is the wizard behind the curtain, pulling the strings? Who are the people creating the algorithms? Who are the people wanting to make sure that certain things get put on the internet, regardless of whether they cause detriment to society? Because if you think about it, this is where politics and economics intersect.
I actually don't believe, was that you, Alpha, that was speaking in regards to the internet? I actually don't believe people from either in modern day, the left, particularly on the internet, because if you recall, many moons ago, the conservatives were asking for restraints on them. Like Texas just put up a blockage on porn, and that was fought back by people who wanted, quote, free speech and wanted the ability to jerk off to young kids online, which is really fucking disgusting. But they wanted this ability. In fact, sued to actually block these and multiple attempts to go ahead and do this. And so when conservative groups or conservative foundation groups or particularly Christian groups who are saying, hey, I don't want this in my child's life. I don't want the ease of access. I don't want the ability to do it. It gets fought, and sometimes it gets overturned. Sometimes the liberals, the left wins, the right sometimes wins. Like Texas is holding true. Last I knew that their resolve has stood, that they're going to continue to ask for age verification at the very least in order for someone to get online. Now, how much that helps, I don't really know. I don't really care. Don't really watch the shit, so it's not my wheelhouse, and my kids are grown. But when groups do try to say, hey, this is what we want for our children, this is the type of environment we want to raise our children in, they're often forced into and they have to control, how do I say this? They have to force to comply with another view, even despite the fact that that view doesn't reside in that area, or even have children to be fucking get with. It's not like, there's vast communities that are saying, hey, I really don't want books depicting sexual positions and behaviors of LGBTQ members in my third graders' library. I want to remove those books out, which they've had massive protests. They've confirmed, they've shown, they visually have told us what books they want to remove because of the very indecent things that are in the books themselves. And they received pushback. They received ridicule. They received cancellation. They received a whole bunch of hate. And so the right has now protested and rebounded back and said, hey, this is where we're going. Guess what? We're your Target shoppers. Guess what? This weekend, we're your Bud Light drinkers. Nope, we're not going to buy that. You're going to either have dips and sales or you're going to cater to what we want. Oh, schools, for sure. We're going to win school boards. We're going to win governorships. We're going to win this area. And then we're going to determine our own rooms. And they're doing it. And this is going across communities. It's happening in Black communities. It's happening in Asian and Hispanic communities as well. So it just appears that white liberal snowflakes really can't figure out that the rest of the fucking country doesn't agree with their stance. And no matter how many times you try to force it, the conservatives are now tired. They are now pushing back, and it's not just the conservatives. It's the middle of the road. And it's a whole lot of other people in a lot of other minorities that are fucking sick and tired of the bullshit.
But Brett, see, I understand everything you said. In fact, I'm quite privy to it. However, where does this stop? I mean, will it attenuate to a point where things will be normal enough for people to disagree with each other, people not to push a particular extreme agenda on each other or try to control each other, but to compete more politically than physically, and then fanning the flames of war and violence? I mean, who draws the line exactly?
People have to actually get prosecuted for their crimes. Like, for example, the Trump administration have kind of been hinting that they want to bring George Soros and his kids up on RICO charges for funding all this illegal activity that the left has been doing for the last couple.
Finally.
So things like that have to happen. Look, at the end of the day, if people broke an actual law, they need to be prosecuted on it. But for some reason, the left oligarchs get to walk around this world of me, and they've been doing this shit since Kennedy. A lot of people talk about Elon Musk being a right-leaning oligarch, but the left has been fucking had oligarchs that's been controlling shit. Remember doing the Black Lives Matter, the Occupy Wall Street protests, these magical bricks getting placed? That shit is a crime. How come no one got prosecuted for? You can't just. It was pallets of bricks lined up in front of these banks for people to throw bricks into the window. Who put those bricks there? Because that's clearly a crime. How come no one ever got prosecuted for that stuff? A forklift had to literally lift that shit and them down. That means someone paid a lot of fucking money for that.
And that's the thing, though.
Friday, I think
we, as part of the public, if we fall for it and become puppets, do you know what I mean?
But Alpha, you're asking for something. You're asking for something that should have been. I know Matt can find it. I know Free and a bunch of other people, because you know how I know that people have sent me this. It's about an hour and a half long, the full video, but there's been clips of it circulating on social media. It's literally that leadership talking political incitement, and they're saying go out and harass, harm. We need to get after him. You have Jasmine Crockett. She's such a wonderful strategist. She's a wonderful political mind. First off, the twat never fucking campaigned, never won an election. She was handed her district. She had what was called a soft election, meaning she didn't have to consent anybody. She just kind of rolled into the position. Hasn't really done my district, didn't even grow up in her district. And if you actually got to meet her before she puts on her performance, she does not talk how she acts on TV. Absolutely 100% does not talk like that at all. Because I know, I've seen her, I've met her. She does not engage that way. She only talks a certain style when she's in front of the cameras or knows there's a big crowd or an event around her. In small private conferences where she's asking for money, she sits there and talks a completely different way. Her articulation switches more than Hillary Clinton's statements on Benghazi, more than Kamala Harris on whether or not she supports Israel or Palestine. I kid you not. But she woke up one day and said, I want to see the end and the downfall and the elimination of Elon Musk. And she got her wish. People were running around, carving Nazi signs, swastika signs at people's fucking expensive cars, firebombing fucking Tesla stations, destroying Tesla charging stations, all for the sake of what? Political leaders inciting violence? But we don't hold any of it. And to DJ Friday's point, yeah, but to prevent it, you need a Democrat leader who's going to say, hey, I need to come out there. And right now, there is no one in the DNC that is a leader that could actually have the left in any particular way, let alone look what they've done that violence. I mean, even Bernie Sanders giving his milquetoast warm apology and saying, hey, we should condemn violence this time around. Where was that kind of statement and feeling when the fucking the crazy fucking nut job shot up the baseball game? Like, you didn't give that kind of rendition. You didn't walk around saying, we need to end political violence. We need to spit out. He didn't say any of that shit. He didn't run around saying all that. No, what they're afraid of is actually the reverse. They're now getting afraid of, well, wait a minute, this may have escalated too far, and we may be the people that are next. It may be an Ilhan Omar or an AOC or Bernie Sanders that gets hit. Like, let's be honest. And is anybody on this side, conservatives, going to go cry? No. Should we post memes about how happy we are? Absolutely. We should post 1,000 memes for that shit, because you guys on the left had no problem doing it. And I'm not above. I'm not like king. I'm not forgiving like a lot of Christians. I'm not a Christian, so I don't turn the other cheek. I believe it. I'm old world. I want eye for an eye.
What? Wait, Brad.
What you're saying is contradictory, though, bro.
Brad, don't put that on us, Brad. We turned.
You can't turn around and say that Trump wasn't a bad guy when he incited rioting and violence.
I know you heard me talking. I know you heard me talking. Brad, we turned one cheek. Outside of that, we have an Old Testament that clearly tells us we are to defend ourselves and that the state is absolutely there to implement justice, right? So
you guys got to get Old Testament quick. You need that fire and brimstone and that freaking war.
Oh, you know, look,
you need crosses painted on shields and swords drawn and start marching into war.
Well,
you guys are
just so people understand, Brad, because I hear you, because people don't oftentimes understand the balance of the new and the old. For instance, let's say this retard gentleman that is rainbowist, right? This Tyler kid converts to Christianity while he's in jail waiting to be executed. If he were to do that, we would accept him as a new brother in Christ, and we would wish him farewell on his way to being executed. Meaning, as a Christian, we would welcome him that he is now a new brother in Christ, but still, the state would execute him as justice for Charlie Kirk. And so that's the balance that we get, in that as a personal thing, we have a personal way of looking at things, but justice must always be implemented on a societal level. So
hey,
that's the distinction.
You know, some people on the right, as of yesterday, are starting to question if this guy is even a guy. Breitbart.
Even a guy?
That this guy is even a shooter.
Oh, yeah. So you want me to speak to that?
Breitbart. He confessed.
Hey,
no, he didn't. No, so he's not cooperating.
No, that's changed, King. If you look, I can find it for you. He actually just came out, and they have, he admitted to it, plus there's a Discord message of him admitting to it. So I'll show you it.
Yeah, show it to me, man, because I'm hearing that he's not cooperating.
Yeah, that's changed in the last 15 hours.
Exactly.
No.
And they have a Discord message where he said, "Sorry guys."
Have they shown the Discord message? Have they actually shown it?
Yeah, he erased it. Yeah, he erased it, but they retrieved it.
Breitbart just posted. So remember the original old guy that they thought, that old white man with the bald head? Remember that guy? He was the first guy that they had in handcuffs. So today, Breitbart just posted that guy, and they about to rearrest this guy because he was clearly he was saying that he was playing a distraction, because when they originally put handcuffs on him, he was like, "Yeah, I did it, and I'll do it again." And then they found other people who was dressed just like him, had the same shirt on. So now they're saying that this shit is bigger than what we think it is, and there were a lot more other people involved in this.
The conspiracy theorists will always say that, and it doesn't really matter anyway, because on the right, we're independent and we should have a diversity of thought. So it's okay that they don't agree or believe.
They always dismiss things to just being conspiracy theory. That's a whole conspiracy in itself, bro.
Well, what I'm saying is that you often don't have any evidence. So we do have evidence on the other side that's pointing the other way. So your conspiracy theory has zero, and I mean zero evidence. And that's what's wrong with the conspiracy theorists. They're always so smart after the fact. But if they were really smart, then they would be able to predict what's going to happen before it actually happens and prevent it from happening.
But you know how
In what context, Notorious?
wait. Y'all know how many
In what
times
context?
conspiracy theorists have predicted. I remember Alex Jones predicted 9/11 a week before 9/11
That
happened.
is true.
And he said it exactly the way he said it was going to happen.
And several people knew, not only Alex Jones, several people knew something like 9/11 was going to happen. In addition, there have been other conspiracy theorists that have absolutely predicted things that have come to pass. Now, they're not 100%, they don't have a 100% accuracy rate, but I think, Notorious, you have to admit that, especially the ones that have been pushed out there as like the symbol of conspiracy theorists, they have spoken on things that have happened. And it's kind of scary because even the frogs are the water's turning the frogs gay. Even that turned out to have some truth to it when they looked into the science behind those things and how it was changing the animals and their their little peepees and wee-wees and coochies and stuff. So we have to be honest.
So,
That
you know how that works,
go ahead,
right?
Ryder.
You know how that works, because a long time ago I called into the Alex Jones show and I talked to him about it, right? You know how it works. These guys ain't magical. They're not psychics. They have people on the inside who tell them, because in every organization, you're gonna have people who don't agree with what's going on, and they'll tip people off. So you will have people in the government who knows about these things that will tell Alex Jones these things. Now it's up to Alex Jones if he's gonna believe it or not, or if he's gonna publish it. That's all that happens. People tell on these people. It's like if you work for DARPA, it's all type of shit DARPA is working on. But if I told you the shit that it's working on, you'll be like, they're not doing no shit. Like, that is crazy. But then Alex Jones, he just has the guts to actually tell us about it. Like, I remember geoengineering was a conspiracy theory. Now they admit to the shit.
Yeah, yep.
What y'all in here lying about? What's going on?
No, what's up, lady?
Happy Tuesday. Hi. Hello.
Hello, my second wife. How's it going?
Oh, how you feeling, Brad?
Feeling good.
What is there not to lie about?
Right, Alpha.
I do want to say one thing. This is cringe. So Pam Bondi, I don't know. They need to fire this stupid bitch. But she's saying she wants to. Yeah, I'm here.
He's running the show. What's going on, kid?
He's got a new name.
Oh,
I've had a new name. Yeah, follow me on this account.
I gave you the heart
I was like,
King Sullivan. Hey, Mon. Hey.
King, that's because he keeps getting targeted by a certain individual I mean.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about it here. It's fine. But I've been targeted lately, so I'll just drop in it. But I'll say, Pam Bondi she's saying she wants to prosecute the office max or depot employees that refused to print the flyers for the vigil for Charlie Kirk. Now, I think that is like absolutely batshit crazy, and that is way over the line. I mean, they got fired. Who gives a fuck? But prosecuting them? I mean, that's just petty and stupid.
It is. Yeah, we got to be careful moving forward.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, oh, well, I can't say it out loud, but it rhymes with Bright Time.
Amazing.
You're about to feel some of that white power, huh?
I did not say that, goddammit. Put words in my mouth.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting as this case unfolds, seeing if we can get to the bottom of the truth and who actually gets to the bottom of the truth. I don't actually think it's going to be the FBI. I think it's going to be us, the people. I think we're going to be the ones that uncover a lot of this stuff to the point where it can no longer even be ignored. Because I don't think that this Tyler kid was working alone. So.
I'll just respond to somebody in the chat. Look, China is in no position to talk about democracy and leadership at all. At all. At all. What China needs to do is stop trying to bully Taiwan, okay, and respect people's choices and a sovereign country for what it is, and stop trying to repress everybody and kill and die. That's what they need to do. China is in no... See, China was a democracy, right, with an opposition. I would have said, you know what? Sure. I mean, they could have a say in the free world, but they don't. They really don't. They were a pariah state until 1998 when Bill Clinton decided to bring them back in, because they were so naive thinking that China actually worked with the national conventions and liberalized the economy. They didn't. They did quite the opposite, right? See, China is a very dynamic and diverse way of dictating and, you know, basically, I don't know, it's a strange creature, China. Outside of China, they're all capitalists, they're all accumulating and extractivism and all of that. And inside China, they're all communists and nobody's above anybody else. And long live, you know, Xi Jinping and all that stuff. No, China has no credibility to talk about America. China needs to tell TikTok to stop trying to sow division in America, right? That's what China needs to do. And it's quite eerie when I'm not religious or anything, but TikTok, ever since TikTok has been around, the time has been ticking and talking, just poisoning the minds of the youth, right? And really, don't you guys see it? It's ticking talking.
Yeah, that's a great point, how China basically is trying to destroy the youth of America and have a totally different practice and standard for their own people. Y'all remember that China was welding people in their homes during COVID, like going and welding their doors shut. So, yeah, China.
Yeah, that's
sure.
You cannot go outside, bad boy. Sit in there and starve.
They give some nice man.
How wrong? No go outside, no. No.
That's not nice.
Stay inside your house, bad boy.
Bad boy, bad boy. Stay in your house,
That
bad
sounds
boy.
ugly. Stop.
That's the type of society.
Yo,
We were doing good. Now you guys are getting a little
Right.
That's not racist. That's an accent.
A little racist, goddammit.
No, I hate it when people say it's racist to mimic an accent.
Right, come on,
It's
guys.
like Arnold Schwarzenegger has a silly accent. God, you know, I can't even do it. It's so goofy. Like everybody thinks he's cool.
But
you know?
the intent,
Something about my accent.
it's the intent, okay?
Arnold Schwarzenegger's last name is racist as fuck. What do you expect?
And you know what I hate when people come up to, you know what I hate when people come up to me, hopefully you guys can hear me, and they say, you don't talk black.
Literally means black.
What is that? Wait, hold on, Sten speaking. I said, I hate when people come up to me and say, you don't talk black. What's that?
Yeah, that's
really
what is that?
annoying.
I don't talk black.
So who's asking you this? Black people or white people?
Both,
Black
people.
We can jive.
but mostly white. Mostly black.
So how do black people don't speak English? What is that supposed to mean?
I know, you tell me.
They want you to talk like your
I mean,
name.
I don't know why I've never made a comment like that. Like that is just an HR write-up looking to happen. If you say you don't sound black, it's like basically saying, oh wow, you're not one of the dummies.
Well, my mom named me Delia, and the oldest girl is Ava, and the middle girl is Zelda, and I'm Delia. She said she wanted us to be able to have good jobs. So I guess in the late 50s and early 60s, she was thinking about something called affirmative action or DEI. Yeah, I mean, so she told, now I could deal with Delia because I'm a carbon copy of my great grandmother, so I just jumped a few generations, but a doppelganger. People are really always thinking how they're going to fit in corporate world organizations that they don't own or are not on the board.
Well, you have to remember, Ebonics is not just ignorant speak. Ebonics, we had to master that so the white boy couldn't know what we were up to.
You guys
Here
literally
we
learned
go.
I
Ebonics.
felt like we
Oh,
paid
here
our
we go.
dues. I
This is
felt like
stupid.
With that bullshit. Yeah,
no, but I feel like if you carry the last name Sanders, that should be enough. But she, my hair's always been curly and straight at the roots, and she, she wanted to fit in so bad she would use Vicaro or pressing comb to just make it like bone straight and no frizz. So some people they go through that to fit in where they can get in more so. But she was more targeted at being jazzy for the corporate workforce than anything.
Amazing. Well, I don't want to stay on Ebonics and Othello, you're fucking. Do you even know where X? You like pronouncing ask as X? That actually came. There's a dialect that was spoken by. They were more or less from the fuck is that area? It's Ulster Scots. It was kind of a poor region where like they.
Appalachia you're talking about, or the Oasis?
Yes, but where they came from in the UK,
the Highlands in Scotland.
Yeah, they had a very butchered pronunciation of English words, and X was actually one of them. And so there's a lot. It was
It's not that they were poor, it's just that they spoke Scottish Gaelic. And so the Queen had to make adjustments in Glencarry, Ontario, Canada.
Look, Ebonics has a direct line to peasantry in the Anglo-Saxon world. We just have to be honest about that. Nothing wrong with it, but I mean it has its origins. Thomas Sowell wrote an excellent book that literally details the entire history of this. You can go read it. It's called, if I remember, Black Rednecks, White Liberal, or White Liberal, Black Rednecks, something of that sort. But it literally goes through the entire history of this.
I mean, yeah, everything we do now, we learn from them. So.
But I understood when white people can't enunciate, no one ever questions their intelligence. But when black people
we don't.
Yeah, dude, we are brutal.
I say all the time that they must have stupid.
Like I don't think you understand. Like when it's like white people around, they will actually stop a person. Like, and I'm saying like in person, face to face. They will say that's not very good English. If you use the word ain't. Like that kind of shit, they absolutely correct each other. Whereas we won't really do it to black people because it would be considered insensitive, and they often,
But
they have different dialects.
You hear ain't in country music all the time.
Yeah, but they're like that's where why do rednecks and blacks have a lot of the similar words because they literally that's where do you think black people got it?
That is correct. That is absolutely
That's not even true. That's not even true.
The entire book written on this. You guys can fucking
Wait, I can prove this, King. You have Asian Americans who are white also, and I can't understand a word. Hell, I'm in Texas today, and half of the fucking time that I go to a store or anywhere out and about and I have to listen to people talk, I'm going, first, why does it take you a half hour to get to the fucking point? Secondly, what the fuck are you saying? Because I have no idea what y'all
And look, this is somebody, Brad, this is somebody who likes to speak both. I love speaking Ebonics like I have no sense, and I love speaking proper American English. I can do both. We have to be honest about the foundation of these things, though. It's proper to speak it in one context, and it's proper to speak it in another.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
You can get grown out of discussions because you're not black enough. You can lose your black card. So you're right about that. But guess what people said? I spoke very well. They said that I spoke Hebrew very well. And they was like, yeah, you have such a good flow and you pronounce the words just right. So I think it's just, I just think it's by chance with people. Maybe the way their teeth are set up. Because I would have never thought I would get complimented on Hebrew.
Black people, we have to be mastered.
This is the way your teeth are set up. What?
We have to be
So if I got racist, I speak better English?
That's what she meant.
What are we doing?
Somebody should have said something
Did somebody fact check that?
A lot of people
People
were
free to speak better.
the language that you speak does form your mouth from the South. The language that you speak does form your
It's
mouth
wild,
differently. That's why you meet people who speak multiple languages and they have different mouth structure.
No,
And that's what I think it is.
Well,
My structure.
what's funny is I had braces. I actually had braces.
What are you laughing at?
No, because you kind of tried to tie, I think the proper speaking of a language to teeth structure. I think you were trying to do that.
I just think that is why some people, like, there's a room called Heavy Hitters on this app.
Yeah.
I won't go in there because he growls. And I know it's a lot of masculine testosterone.
Testosterone is crazy.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, you know, and some guys don't do much. Some don't. And those are the ones I'm attracted to because if I'm comfortable with you, I go at it all day. Blah, 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 you know.
All right, guys. Well, let's get back to the.
Yeah, because it gets silly at some point.
No,
when
we're
you're
not talking
arguing
about
with
that.
somebody else's language. Like, imagine hearing the British people listening to all us
Yes,
Americans fuck up that
finally
shit.
someone said it.
Yeah.
North Carolina's enough. They sound like country mouse.
Yeah, because we were talking about earlier about free speech, but can speech be considered violence?
No, that's just cope. No.
It could lead to violence.
Yeah, it can lead to violence, and we have
If someone
laws against
says,
that.
if you had an issue with someone and you run into them in the store, you meet them in a public place, and they say, "I'm going to kill you," is that violence?
Yeah, we have laws against that.
You're threatening.
And if they play like that, no, because the girl did that to my coworker yesterday, and that's how they play.
But those are fighting words.
That's correct.
You know,
Exactly, but we're just using a broad term about how
here in
speech
Chicago,
is so
we say-
free, and it's not.
In
you know
Chicago,
what
we
I
say,
think would really demarcate violent speech from actual physical violence? Look, tell somebody, like, you can experiment this. Tell somebody, with all due respect to the panel and everybody in the audience, you can tell somebody, listen, fuck you, right? And punch them in the face and tell them, hey, which one hurts more? And maybe they'll demarcate it.
yeah, but this whole violence is speech is just it's an attempt by people who don't understand the foundation of America and the First Amendment and why this country was set up on those laws. When you advocate for speech as violent stuff like that, you're just exposing that you have no tie to Americanism as we understand it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like, you guys may think it's funny, you guys may think it's a joke, but it's not. We need to deport these people. I don't care. We need to deport you. The Constitution is very clear that we are supposed to be guarding against enemies, foreign and domestic. When you are pushing for shit like this, where you're literally espousing things that are contrary to Americanism, I think we need to have an honest conversation so we don't end up having a civil war.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we can deport you to whatever country. We'll give you a flight, $100,000 or however much it is to go to whatever country you think would accommodate you and your retardedness. We have to be honest about this.
I don't think they would go, King.
I think a lot of people wouldn't go, actually, Alpha. I think there's a lot of LARPers. There's a lot of people who espouse things where if they were put in a society where they have to actually live under the rule sets that they, that come out of their mouth, they would flee those countries. And that's the sad part. So many people are literally, they don't have the self-awareness to realize they're pushing for things that they would literally never live under.
I would say there's like one thing I noticed where it is, like in the UK, I'll see Muslims in the UK, they're saying like, I think it should be illegal to criticize any religion, not just Islam. And it's just like, so wait, hold on a second. So you're basically saying you want to change, they don't have true freedom of speech in the UK, but, more so than
In Europe, they don't even have it in Europe.
Exactly. And so
I mean, you
it's
can
like,
say something, it's just not codified. So you can easily get caught up in it. You can easily get caught up in Scotland. you know, because I wanted to check on some things, and they was like, now the people you hanging around speak Gaelic, so they gonna make fun of them in court. Say, what did you say? So yeah, Europe is a hot mess when it comes to free speech. You have to be very careful what you say and how you gonna get yourself out of it.
Yeah, so like in the UK, you have like these Muslims who are basically they can't behave themselves if you if you insult Islam. They want to just make it so that you can't criticize any religion. Like they somehow think that that would be a good middle ground, which, you know, I do absolutely think that when it comes to certain people, especially immigrants from certain places, yeah, that should never be accepted. You should never accommodate those people.
But see, this is the thing, Pepe. Like when people try to, you know, live their lives according to what is ideal as opposed to what is actually real and affects them tangibly, that's where delusion happens. See, like you have people right now calling for, what do you call it, heresy laws, right? No, just no, because what do you mean by heresy law? Maybe I worship, I don't know, maybe I worship the Ferraris as a horse and as a car. So should that be also part of the law to accommodate my sensibilities? These things are so ambivalent and ambiguous. Where do you draw the line, man? That's my issue with it. Where do you draw the line? It's either free speech for everybody, for nobody. That's the thing. But what we are seeing right now is people saying, no, free speech for me, no speech for you. That's how I see it. Maybe I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. It just goes back to what we were talking about earlier this week. People don't know how to dialogue, how to get a point over, how to persuade, how to market, how to do elevator. They just, you know, you have a lot of people just don't want to hear it. And it's a good amount of them on this app. In certain types of rooms you have to
Well, I don't think
stay
that's
out of
necessarily the
because
case.
they're more for entertainment.
But I don't think that's
They're kind of entertainment.
I don't think it's necessarily the case. Like with a lot of, like for example, the Muslim immigrants in the UK, it's not that they can't dialogue. It's just that I mean, where they come, it's punishable by death, and they're intolerant to people criticize Islam.
Very intolerant. Very, very intolerant. Yeah. To the point, like, the women, they need to stay a step behind their husbands, because in Arlington County, Virginia, they are something else. I'd be like, you packed up off of me, you know, like that. And they don't mean any harm. They evade your personal space.
Good afternoon, Pepe.
Hello.
How are you? I'm in Tweeto.
I haven't spoken to you in a while, Fatima.
I know you miss me.
Ooh,
Yep.
What's that all about?
Just mind your business.
Y'all don't
Mind
get
your-
to love black women.
Publicity on the other side.
Yeah, y'all could just mind your business. But Pepe, I wanted to chime in on this conversation. Did y'all talk about why free speech is an American thing?
I didn't look it up.
So, the basis of free speech was so that, remember when before America was independent from the British, they weren't allowed to criticize the government or the king. So once they created this new democracy, they wanted people to be able to argue and criticize and, you know, talk about how they felt about things. And they always wanted that to be, you know, protected. That was they wanted their views, especially those that were unpopular, to be protected with the First Amendment. I think it is amendment, where, you know, you have free speech. So with that being said, Americans are, and democracy. They're rooted in free speech. They're rooted in free autonomy because the founding fathers didn't know what rule or authority was. They were trying to get away from it so that they can create their own rule or authority for others, right? Because they wanted to create their own systems. And that system is what we are in today. Those founding fathers found a way to basically monopolize off of their own voices and suppress others.
And who taught you this?
Your daddy.
Like that was definitely
She's not wrong because, like, she's not wrong because
you wasn't listening to the actual lessons that my daddy was teaching.
All right, DJ, she's not wrong.
Okay, tell me.
In 1735, a famous journalist was prosecuted, hung, and killed because of seditious speech because he was a printer, Peter Zengler. And the founding fathers, when they were drafting the Constitution, actually said, hey, we don't want this kind of thing. Also, they believed it was a safety valve. They had watched numerous plots and oppression occur throughout Europe. And they said if people actually have the ability to speak about their grievances with the government, to be able to vocalize them and communicate them in a broad, open environment, it will not harbor ill feelings nor breed more revolutionary types to overthrow the government. Plus, it provides a safety check on the government, which the people can be informed and discuss the topics of the day at hand with their representatives. And it makes the government accountable for the people, by the people, we the people.
Well, more importantly, they knew it was vital to a free republic.
A free republic?
A free republic. It was vital. You have to have it. In order to have a free republic, you have to have freedom of speech.
That's true.
And these are the things people like John Locke wrote about.
Othello.
I thought it would be the freedom of democracy.
Othello, I read your thing about how you want Ben Shapiro and who is this other guy?
John Stewart.
Not John Stewart. Your comments about John Stewart. Cash Patel need to go. Cash Patel is not going anywhere. He's actually doing a fairly decent job. I mean, for all once, he's done a lot of improvement. He's done a lot of coordination. He's done targeting. He's put people back on sexual crimes instead of putting them on political deaths like Biden's administration. So I'm pretty happy with a lot of the moves he's making within the FBI. I'm sorry that your favorite pundits who like to go on, Sunday morning talk shows and get their 15-minute fame aren't there anymore, but I'm pretty happy to see those guys go. But as far as Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro were the polite ones. Like, they're really nice. The only problem with Ben Shapiro is he talks too damn fast. He's like a honey badger on meth in his debate styles.
But he sucks on helium before he talks.
He could be. But you have no idea who in the conservative circle is now getting elevated. I said this yesterday, and I'm going to continue to say this. You have Nick Fuentes. And you guys, you don't know shit about him other than the fact you don't like him. That's it. And he has said some racist things. And I will say this. He has said some racist things. He is much more than anything else there. And he's elevated. You're bringing up Milo Yiannopoulos. He's coming back. Thank you. Because I really wanted to hear the shit from Milo again in my life. And a host of others. You're going to have a huge network. You just handed the Republicans the midterms, the next presidential election, the election after that. And you're going to have more of society saying, no, I don't agree with the leftist ideas. And you're still wanting to cancel free speech, which is why you prove the point that the right does not need to come to the table and actually talk with the people on the left anymore. What they ought to do is hit the left with the table and just mud stomp them as they march on over and just do what they want to do anyway.
I agree with the Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens of the world. I'm on their side. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is that there was an inner fight between the Nick Fuentes and the Candace Owens of the world and the Charlie Kirk ideologies. And that fight was over American blind support of Israel.
Well, not necessarily the fight, because that also pushed her out of the Daily with European rule and all kind, it kind of pushed her out of Turning Point, you know, but the thing is that I was looking at her yesterday and she said, you know, there are people who think they can fill Charlie's spot at a company he once owned that have no business there. And she said she'll die, you know, protecting the company from them.
You'll never see Candace Owens, you'll never see Nick Fuentes get the kind of recognition that Trump got because of their stances on Israel. They can never really get on the political unless the U.S. takes its government lobbies like AIPAC and whatnot. So you'll see them as like as high as like a podcaster. You know what I mean? But you'll never see political.
Because they look at the AIPAC, they look at the AIPAC as a foreign entity.
Why are you so focused? Like every conversation. So here's a problem. You're so focused on what the Jews. Like, oh my God, we gotta get rid of the Jews because I don't want to be the targeting group. Listen, I have never stop. Hold on. I have never met more people who are afraid of one of the smallest demographics on the fucking planet.
You don't have to go through that spill.
I'll go through whatever I want to. I wore the uniform and actually fought for it. And I don't care about free speech on the left. I don't care about that. But I mean, why are you so focused on Israel? Like, you know, Israel is not our closest ally. It's not even the one we pay the most money.
I understand.
You don't even understand how our economy works in terms of it. Nor do I give a fuck about it. If you were really pissed off about a lot of things, particularly 9/11, like you claim, like I've heard you say, you would be like really pissed off at a country, I don't know, like Saudi fucking Arabia, where they were fucking where they were fucking funded.
And Brett, also Saudi Arabia has the highest lobby.
How about you just listen?
How about you listen instead of talking? Because you interrupt me, so now I don't have to be polite.
See, you don't even
I don't have to be fucking polite to you, ignorant fucking cunt who can't fucking actually sit there and listen. You want to just go on and have your fucking viewpoint, and no one else can distinguish it because you just want to go with your anti-Semitic fucking rant that you hate fucking Jewish people. I don't know if you're craving Jewish cock or the fact that you weren't fucking breastfed by a Jewish woman and you feel left out. I don't give a shit about what your fucking viewpoint is because I don't have to respect it. I don't have to sit and take it from someone who's so afraid of a small minority of fucking people, and then you want to just run your fucking mouth while anybody else contributes and says, hey, I want to fucking go ahead and do this. I don't give a fuck about that because you're
last week you went
and I don't have to sit there and take
we have you recorded.
I don't care what you have recorded. I don't give a shit about anything you say right now. I don't give a fuck. I will not be responsible for you because you went on an anti-Semitic rant last week. You don't have anything. And again, I don't give a fuck. You went on an anti-Semitic rant. You're the one that's sitting there in your big gag. You went on an anti-Semitic rant just last week. You're afraid of that shit. You're afraid of some fucking Jewish guy drag his nutsack up and down your face. Like, alright. Is this a clone? I don't fucking know what the hell you're talking about. Again, you're just like fucking spewing shit while talking, and you want to be platformed. So now I'm gonna platform you, fucking fat fellow. Whatever your bullshit is, whatever your fucking fucking. Wait. Everybody asked Brad. I don't give a fuck. Everybody asked Brad. You sound an asshole. You sound like some fucking twat. You sound like a crybaby who wasn't there. Why did you change, Brad? Why? Sound like. What the fuck is wrong with you? You can't even fucking have respect. You can't have fucking patience. You can't even articulate. Which is why I'm gonna tell the right. Take people like Othello and just like toss them. Just throw them. You were just anti-Semitic last week. Do that shit over and over again. We were all in the room. Get through until you can't because they don't give a fuck. They just want they're pro-Palestine, which is a whole bunch of suicide bombers who can't figure out how to use a fucking dead man. What happened in my They can't fucking they want to throw gay people off the roofs. That's all right. It's all pro-LGBT. Why the fucking dick in his face? Why the change of heart? Again, I don't understand what you are still. Why the big change of heart? I don't have a change of heart. I have last week. Fucking 5 years. You went on a 10-minute anti-Semitic rant just last week. Why the change? Talking shit. shit on Jewish people last week. No one's ever heard me talk shit on anybody.
You went
You
on an
fucking moron.
and
And if
my
you said
friends
anything,
just
if you're
last
trying to
week.
equate my critique of the Israeli government talking about their civil rights
Why the
issues
change, Brad?
and all of their government, that's
Why
not fucking being anti-Semitic, you fucking dumb
Why the
ass
change all of a sudden?
fucking piece of shit. Go back, read a book.
Why
I
the
tell you
change
what,
all
you
of a
need a
sudden?
library card, I'll teach you how
Why
to
the
sign
change
up
of
for
heart?
one of those. I'll teach you how to go order books
What
online.
happened?
There's
Did
this
they
app
have a
called
talk with you?
Amazon. You can order those.
Did they have
There's
a round
bookstore
table
called
with you,
Barnes
Brad?
and Noble. You can go in and buy books. There's a school that will literally teach you.
Hey,
There's
Brad,
old
did they have
people
a
at
round
Senior
table with you?
Center that will teach you how
Did
to
they have a
fucking
round
read.
table with you?
I mean, again, the
Oh,
ignorance
I
about
get
is
it.
nothing.
I
You don't
get it.
have
I'm not
nothing.
speaking
I don't
what
give a
the left
fuck,
versus
dude.
right is,
You don't have anything
I'm
on
not
me because
speaking
again,
to your civil-
everybody on this
Is it the
stage,
Civil War
in this
symbol?
audience, in 5 years,
Nobody
will
believes you.
speak. You don't have
Nobody
any
believes
inner
the Civil
secrets
War
on me,
agenda.
motherfucker.
Nobody believes that there's a left versus right war. I'm sorry, Brad. You can't push it. It's
Oh,
done.
really?
It's done.
Oh wait, there's not a left versus right
No,
war?
no.
What, really?
No.
I didn't watch Charlie Kirk get
It's a
assassinated,
psyop.
you dumb
It's a
fucking
psyop
moron.
that nerds like
You
you
dumb
trying to push.
fucking moron.
It's a
You
psyop
fucking
that
piece
nerds
of
like
shit.
you were trying
You
to push.
vile fucking cum stain
It's a
that
psyop
hasn't
that
fucking
nerds like you were doing.
supported
Ain't gonna do
humanity. You can't
gonna
fucking
be on
figure
Trump.
out there's
Talking
nonsense
about.
going shut.
And
You know what?
and
I am
somebody
so
else's
glad
kid is gonna
people
fire
are
the trigger.
so sensitive like you over MLK.
You're gonna be on
because I'm
Clubhouse
glad.
talking about
I'm
it.
glad that
Somebody
the
else's
MLK
kid is gonna fire the
and
trigger.
others are getting shot because they
Because
feel
of
your
people like
feelings
you.
so much.
It's
I
a
don't give a
psyop.
fuck.
And you're
Fuck all
pushing
that
it.
shit.
You're all
I
ass
don't
is
care.
pushing it.
I don't really care.
You need to go
Anymore,
sit
you
down,
haven't
have a
done
pasta,
shit, you haven't said shit,
go
you haven't
get your
proved shit.
retirement
You
plan.
don't. There's not a war coming. You know what? You're right. I wish the conservatives would mount up and do a war because pussies like you can't even
Oh, you
serve
wish for
to
a
defend
war?
this fucking
Look,
country
this guy-
to wear a uniform,
Idiot.
and all you can do is play Call of Duty and
Oh,
act
I
like
go
you know
war.
about war.
I
You
would
haven't
do a war
sailed
against my
those seas.
neighbor.
You didn't jump out of an
Yeah,
airplane.
that's a
You didn't
war.
fucking fire down range. You didn't have to get shot at. And all you do is laugh from the
You're trying to
basement
push
of your
a style.
mommy
You're
while you're
trying to push
sitting
a
there
style
going,
on these
Mom, can I have more minutes for my cell phone?
They don't
I'm a
want a
grown
fucking war,
30-year-old
Brad.
man who doesn't have a fucking
They don't
job.
want a war.
You don't have a
They don't
fucking
want a
job. You
fucking
don't
war.
contribute to society.
You're
And you
trying
want
to
the
push
U.S.
a
government,
psyop.
mainly people on the stage,
You're
to
trying
pay
to
for
push
you.
a psyop.
Fuck your psyop
You're trying to
bullshit.
push a psyop.
You're a fucking weird
They just have to
motherfucker.
shoot at you when they stick
Have
their
it.
hands
It's all yours. Have fun with this
You know
fucking
that,
one.
Bitch ass nigga.
Thought about that?
Bitch ass, I would swear to God, dude, I would bend your mama over and give you a brother.
Do what you gotta do.
Piece of shit.
Don't be mad when somebody Charlie Kirk.
You ain't gonna do it. I tell you what, yeah, have somebody come. I have
you're
guns.
pushing
I
for
have
war, you
weapons.
gonna get
Come
popped,
play.
too.
You wanna fucking come play? Come play, motherfucker.
You
Show
ain't-
up
you
at
ain't
the door.
about to do
Come
nothing.
on,
You're a
motherfucker.
fucking
You
lame
talk
ass
along.
white man
Let's
in
go.
Idaho.
Talk
You ain't
along.
doing shit.
Come on. Let's go.
You're
You
trying to
wanna
push
come up
people
and
into
shoot
a
me?
fucking civil
Come
war
on. I
in the
dare you,
United
you
States.
fucking
You
punk
ain't
ass
doing
bitch.
shit.
You're fucking
You're pushing a
You're
psyop.
nothing. You wouldn't do anything.
You're
You know what
pushing
you
a
are?
psyop.
You'd walk
You're a bitch.
out on the sidewalk. You'd look down at the
You're
ground.
pushing a psyop.
Stupid motherfucker.
You're pushing a
You would
psyop.
look down at me. You would bend your
You're pushing a
I'll have
psyop.
you lick
Brad,
my fucking toes, motherfucker.
you should be
I'll put
arrested.
you to
You're
fucking work.
un-American.
I'll have you guarding
You're pushing
my
a
fucking
psyop on the
backyard.
American
I'll have
people.
you doing that
You
shit.
need to be
I'll-
healed.
Brad, you need to knock up his mom and give him another brother, and you'll be his stepdaddy, and then you can ground him and take his fucking phone away.
Woo-hoo.
That's why.
That motherfucker.
Good God, Brad is another one of these motherfuckers pushing a psyop on the American people when we need to be
Yeah, what are you
healing right
pushing
now.
a psyop that is
Yeah, they're pushing a psyop on a
Have you ever
fake,
thought about that?
fake civil war.
Perhaps people think you're pushing a psyop. Have you thought about that?
They're pushing a fake civil war on your kids so they can pull the
Yeah,
trigger.
I didn't go out and shoot Benjamin fucking Crump,
Yeah,
did I?
stop it.
Or
Stop it.
fucking Farrakhan or any of them motherfuckers,
Stop it.
did I?
You're pushing
But
a
no,
psyop.
your
You're
side fucking
American.
decided to come
Stop
shoot fucking Charlie Kirk.
Just
They
because
did.
you're old
They did
ass
that shit.
bored,
They did that
you
shit.
don't
And then you
know
want to go
what it's
healing.
psyop.
Fuck your
Stop it.
healing shit. You know what? You
Just
got
because
pissed
you're
off.
old,
We
people
got pissed
that
off when, what was it?
bored,
Carmelo
you're
Anthony
online
was
pushing a
fucking
psyop.
stabbing
Just because your old ass is bored, you're pushing this.
My old ass still can whoop the fucking black off.
We won't let you do it.
You ain't, who's we? You ain't got
Yeah,
nobody.
we won't let
You don't
you
have
do it.
anybody.
Left and right.
There's nobody
We
standing
won't
with
let you do
You
it.
aren't that tough, dude. Nobody wants to
Cash
follow.
Patel is being
You don't
being
have it.
questioned
I hope
right now
Cash
by
Patel
the
does
Senate.
come and get you. I hope he
Cash
does. I hope he
Patel
does
is
round you
being
up. I
questioned
want
by the
fucking
Senate
broken
right
windows
now.
implemented.
They're not
I
gonna
want
let you
stop
do
and
it.
frisk. I want
They're
stop
not
and
gonna let you
beatings
do
to
it.
actually start
Jon
to
Stewart didn't let Ben Shapiro do it.
Hey, you know what? Stop and beating sound great.
We're
I
not
want to do
gonna
that.
let you do it, Brad.
I want to see people like you stop beating. I want Rodney King to look like a fucking Hallmark movie.
We're not gonna let you do it. anti-Semitism. China just said today that America and Israel trade the world.
Wait, this dipshit is
we're
getting
being
his
used
news from
to
China,
love
and he's gonna
ourselves.
swallow that.
We're being
Like
loved
the
into
fucking pile of cum from his fucking
We're not
grandfather.
gonna let them do it.
Holy shit,
not
this guy
gonna
will
let him do it.
dethrone anything out of Xi Jinping's fucking little age.
We just want to be American.
You spit the whole fucking
all
the way up in there. Are you all the way in there? Are you all the way in that? You're taking China's information? Are you a fucking moron?
You guys are
You are dumb.
You guys are focused on the pawns.
You are too fucking stupid. I definitely want to follow China's
right war.
Yeah, I want to. Part of the problem is you leftists are too fucking up there in the ass of fucking China. Bury your face down in it. You actually pull your head up. So you're the day I listen to fucking China, the day I listen to fucking China for you little twat waffles, I'm going to fucking. No, I don't care. I want to see that. I want to see that shit. I really want to see that shit. I don't give a flying fuck.
We won't
Fucking
let you do
listening to China. China told me the Jews are bad. That's your fucking
We
thing.
won't let you do it. It's not about Jews, baby.
Fucking idiot.
You can't do that.
You already proven to the
It's
state.
not about Jews.
Dumb.
It's about
You actually have a conversation.
not about
Shit, you are fucking ignorant. You're the reason why we have to sit there and have to deal with fucking stupid shit like Israeli Palestine. Meanwhile, you have no problem killing a Charlie Kirk.
His source is the South China Post. I mean, isn't that
He's a fucking idiot.
Charlie Kirk was a pawn. Okay, George Floyd is a fucking pawn.
You're a pawn if you're
Okay,
listening to
and
fucking
you're a fucking
China, you
pawn in the
dumbass.
side.
And they're not even paying you. They're not even giving you a reach around. You're doing it free.
You're trying to push the left versus right agenda on these good American people and their children so that somebody else.
Wait, how was George Floyd a pawn?
And you're un-American for that. We're not gonna
The guy was a predicate felon, bro. What
We're not gonna let you do it. They want us to fight each other right now. That's the whole psyop.
I want to fight you because you're fucking retarded and coming up to fucking China. Because bring your information, whatever BBB that China has rolling in your ass, and you're fucking spitting out fucking cum because you're like, yes, daddy, China, give me some more. I want some paper that come from a young guy over there. You're sitting there going, I need that in my life. You are sitting there going, believe me, that I gotta believe fucking China. Fuck China. Fuck that.
You sounded like an agent with an agenda. That's what you sounded like.
I'm not quoting China's sources, ass. You sound like the agent, you moron. Do you even hear yourself?
You gotta be
You are retarded. You are beyond.
You're retarded for pushing aside on these good American people. There's no left versus right war. And you won't stop it until another politician dies. You guys will go out there and kill another one.
The same country that's been 5 years over here. I get it. You're a Biden sympathizer. I get it. That's all. You're just talking about that. That's fucking you know what? I don't need soldiers to go to a civil war with a country. Our crab fishermen in Alaska who fucking defeated the Chinese Navy. Shit, I might as well march out the conservative women because that might be a fair fight for you at least. They will fucking beat the shit out of you. None of that shit. Nobody's listening to you because you're gonna quote China.
You're not killing shit. Nobody.
I don't fucking know about China.
America should be healing.
You know what's funny about a statement is that at this time right now, when emotions are in commotion, right? A Chinese-owned social media company like TikTok is shutting down anyone with right-leaning views just so that it can make them feel like they're being, sidelined, right? And it's amplifying all these idiots that are supposedly on the left to create this atmosphere of animosity. So Otello, your China is the provocateur.
No, you guys are the provocateur in these rooms pushing out fake-ass left versus right propaganda psyop agenda on the American people. Luckily, John Stewart taught it.
TikTok is amplifying that.
Ben Shapiro tried to do it.
But TikTok is amplifying that by banning
Luckily,
people.
I'm proud of America. I'm proud of us. But
Against Charlie Kirk.
Now they're questioning Cash Patel for his complicity.
I want 20 more Cash Patels against fucking Chinese psyop agents, fake fucking. You know what? I'm gonna call you paper king because we already got one. I'm gonna call you paper. Just so that you can be paper fucking Exactly. That's what you guys are. Fucking right paper going through. Listen, I don't give a shit what those like fucking Chinese fuckers have to say. I don't give a flying fuck about what you want. I don't care about how much you think they're great. I don't give a fuck about your opinion from China. If I wanted China's opinion, I'd walk over there, I'd smack the fucking kung pao chicken out of their head, and then I would drag it and told them. I don't give a fuck. Listen, just like we talk, wait. Just like we showed Japan that the U.S. can show them how the sun sets twice on their nation, who's got the bigger fireworks, I can promise you we can do that to China without a fucking blink in the eye. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what China says. China's non-relevant. China doesn't have anything on the U.S. I don't give a flying fuck what China says. You guys sucking up to China is the cringiest shit I've ever heard of.
Get off the boat.
Social company, the social media company that is actually, look, this is what it's doing. In this time, at this sensitive time, at this time where sensibilities are on fire, okay? And people are looking, listen for a moment. The social media company of TikTok owned by China is banning accounts and suppressing accounts that are trying to be on Charlie Kirk's side while amplifying the lunatics who are celebrating his death. Now you tell me, is that conducive to the current atmosphere in the United States?
Look, Alpha's not that bad. It's Othello that like is quoting China and then he's wanting us to listen to fucking China. This fucking moron who's never done anything in his life, who's still living in mama's basement.
Retired pedophile on Clubhouse pushing a left versus right war among Americans. That is so un-American. Period.
That's what TikTok is doing, though.
But anyway, they have a military person who's overseeing Cash Patel.
Cash Patel's being questioned right now by our Senate.
Right, and they have a guy that works at this, a white guy in the military, works at the Pentagon, high-ranking person, and technically is the head of the FBI. Because Cash Patel glowed to profile a white guy who killed Kirk, because no black person really had that much vindication for him.
No, this guy's going to tell you that you have to listen to China. Every time you open your mouth, I'm going to put you in fucking the fucking cuckold that wants China. Hey, you want America there. You want to sell it off to that shit. You didn't call me out. Nobody, listen, dude, nobody here called me out for shit. You can't, you don't have me. My agenda is not to fucking sell me to fucking China, nor kids, nor allow fucking idiots to believe China doesn't have nefarious means. And you can't even name a fucking city in China, but you're going to quote their news. You can't even find fucking the capital of China on a map, and you're going to tell me I need to listen to that. You don't know anything about their economic policies. You don't know anything about their military contracts. You have no nothing. But you want me to listen to China because you think you have some mysticism because China tells you how great it is to live there. Let me tell you how great it is to live in China. They fucking steal people up in the rooms to die and they're home while they had COVID. They tortured people. They killed millions of people when they came into power. But you don't have a fucking clue. You are too retarded to actually listen. You know what? You need to go quote Pol Pot. You would have a better chance with Pol Pot. You would have had a better shot with any of them. But you can't even fucking do that. You went to China. You simple fucking couple. I can't believe it. I can't believe that there's this moron. That it's your room, but you can have the Chinese look up here. Doing his like little fucking rhetoric all day long.
We're not gonna let you push that agenda. I'm sorry.
You know what? I want everybody to lock up and put into fucking internment camps. Chinese sympathizers. Anybody who sticks for China at a great limit, I think we need to open up internment camps and lock them up.
We're not gonna let you push that agenda on the American
TTR.
Oh shit, that's me?
Yep. Out by the alopecia.
Oh shit, where's his chest though? Wait, did you guys know that Ludwig has albinism and
Wait,
alopecia?
what in the world's going on here? Talking about
Ludwig.
Your mom.
Yeah, no, I'm not even joking.
Your mom is.
Ludwig, I've seen your real picture.
Let alone
You have
how many
albinism, you have albinism, and you have alopecia, which is fucking wild. You're literally powder.
That's still your
I
mom's
think
thing.
now the real psyop began, like right now with the albinism stuff.
The best thing to come out of this death is the Charlie Kirk Act. Why? Because the Charlie Kirk Act is going to hold people like Brad and people that are pushing this left versus right agenda responsible for any more deaths. Check it out. It's called the Charlie Kirk Act. Anybody pushing this propaganda on good American people, trying to get our kids involved, trying to radicalize our kids to go shoot another politician, slap the shit out of them when you see them. America needs to heal right now.
Wait, how do you stop violence by going to
Slap the shit out of them.
Yo, come on, man. Like,
Anybody pushing that propaganda, slap, and the Charlie Kirk Act is
Here's what you do. Anybody who quotes China and tries to do this, you run them over with a car. You fucking accidental fucking backing them up in a parking lot. You know what? It won't even be a hate crime.
The Charlie Kirk
I'm
Act.
fine with it.
I mean, Othello, you keep on saying that this is like somehow it's not right versus left. Okay, all you've been seeing are a bunch of. Well, first of all, you have this faggot that ended up. I don't know if he's trying to impress his boyfriend or I don't even know what the fuck he's doing.
You know that's what he is.
And so, like, he ended up shooting him because he was a lefty that hated his views, and then we've seen all of the American lefties, not Chinese people, sit here and celebrate his death. These are real Americans that had real American jobs, and so they got fired in America. I mean, this is left versus right. For whatever reason, you think that it's like. It's not real.
Right.
This is
It's
stupid.
a fight between the right wing. It's right on right.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
These were lefties that were celebrating his death, and what do you think it's actually about? It's right versus white. I mean, that is stupid.
It's right versus the right wing. It's
You're letting these blacks get away with way
It's
too much.
between the Nick Fuentes of the world, and it's between the Charlie.
Nothing to do with Nick Fuentes.
Yes, it is.
Fucking idiots.
This is a his fight in the right wing.
I told you this. I told
Well,
you he
it
was
does
a fucking
have a
idiot.
lot to do with Fuentes. You listen to some of Candace tapes.
Listen to the fucking idiot.
Just last night.
I mean, we know that I've known for years that the Groypers and Turning Point USA have been publicly feuding with each other. That's actually how the Groypers really made a name for themselves, is trolling Charlie Kirk on his campus tours. And it's pretty
He
outrageous.
didn't know this stuff. He doesn't know those.
But you know what
those
is it?
He's quoting fucking China. He's quoting Chinese sources.
It's quoting TikTok University.
I'm connecting all the
Journal of TikTok
together because I actually research and I study.
No. You have Chinese Pooh Bear dick in your butthole, and so you need to cleanse those chocolate cheeks and get that Pooh Bear dick out of your butt.
Deflect from the actual subject matter, but it's not going to.
That was not ad hominem. That was factually accurate.
This is what we do.
Hold on. You know what I found funny?
You look like powder. Shut the fuck up.
Maybe I'm next. Look, Andrew Tate, you are not a debater, okay? And nobody's after you, Andrew Tate. The only people after you are those women from Romania. Okay, come on, you're trying to grip on them.
Shit to do with what the fuck is going on right now.
Come on, bro, stop it, man. Andrew Tate coming out saying, maybe I'm next. Man, shut up, bro. We're not that important. Shut up.
Oh, well, that's a little off the beaten path, but he already was next for, basically freedom of speech when they got house arrest in Romania.
No, that was for sex trafficking.
Yeah, sex trafficking.
No, that was sex trafficking.
He's never been charged, let alone be.
No, he's been charged. You mean?
But they make up shit with you when you do have freedom of speech.
Oh my god, the biggest conspiratorial person on here
And
saying
keep in
something.
mind,
Not a
Oh,
conspiracy.
please. Anything that you don't agree with is conspiratorial.
that's because they hide.
My truth is my
No,
truth.
you're
You're not my man,
huge. You're
so I'm
huge
not
into
gonna side
conspiracy
with you.
theories, Connie. What are you
Yeah,
talking
well,
about?
you're not my man, so I'm not gonna side.
You know what I found funny though, Attilo? Like, you're not consistent, man. You cannot come and tell me that, China is somehow caring about the state of the world, especially what's happening in Israel or what's happening in America. Do you know why? Because, like I said, TikTok is the one right now perpetuating what you are talking against.
What
Don't
I'm
you find
saying
that?
is, you don't have to respect China, but what I'm saying is.
No, it's not about respecting China. I'm just saying if China was an honest broker of truth,
Let me respond to you.
then the social media
It
companies
doesn't
won't
matter
like that.
what I'm
Well,
saying.
Dello, how do you feel about the
China
Uyghurs?
used their voice. China used their voice to denounce us, and that's it. Now, whether you respect it or not,
But that's not the point
I'm bringing up the point that China used their voice to denounce us today.
No, look, what I'm telling you is this. If China was an honest broker of truth, not that they cannot be, but at the moment they're not. What I'm saying is if they were honest brokers of truth, right, the social media company owned by them, TikTok, would not be attempting to suppress one side and amplify the other because they know at this
They have their own skeletons, I understand.
things are edgy. And people will have the perception that we're being suppressed. And it may not necessarily be by the left, but this is what they're doing. They're creating a rift.
I understand that they have their own skeletons.
It has nothing to do with skeletons. I don't think you understand how this works. I don't think you understand how propaganda works. Now, there's a lot of people think that they're somehow trying to, that the ultimate goal of, like, for example, Russia or China is to change our opinions on something. And so that will vote in another way. That's actually not what their goal is. Their goal is to muddy up the water and damage the reputations and the narratives of both sides so much that Americans will start becoming more apathetic and not trusting either party. And basically it's a way just to fuck with the United States so that it's harder for us to get things accomplished, so that we're less unified. Like when it comes to China and like Russian propaganda, I don't think you realize just how harmful it is and why they seek to do it. It's absolutely in their best interest for America to be weakened and for Americans to not really want to be on board with any, especially geopolitical endeavors they might want to accomplish.
Basically, to demoralize them.
Yeah. To Pepe's point, we gotta be honest. Israel lost the social media war. And I think the IDF is doing the right thing, but it's just like Pepe was saying, the propaganda has been flooding the social media, and that's where they're losing the war at. So once they tighten that up, I think, the American people, or people in general that disagrees will change their opinion. But right now, the social media war is getting guys like the guy that's talking about Palestine and Russia and all that. Social media got it. And I don't know if we can ever get those people back, but I'll land there.
Like, irredeemable, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think you can get them back because it's just their thinking is just fundamentally flawed. These are the same people that you have to sit here and have an argument about over what is a woman and all of this other nonsensical thing. So I think the mentality is going to remain the same.
You know what I find funny though, Victoria, is that whenever people ask a question, what is a woman, they ask a man instead of asking an actual woman. No, have you guys noticed though? They never ask
Most of those
female
men
what is a woman.
trying to pretend to be women, so you're asking them, what the fuck is a woman? Because clearly, under my circumstance, I couldn't call a fellow woman, but I mean, he wants to identify as one, a Chinese woman to be precise. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, has the definition changed? I need to figure this out. Why would I ask Connie? Because she's been a woman all her life. I have to sit there now and figure out what this new interpretation is. And so people like Othello who want to be a Chinese little fucking girl in like one of those dresses, he wants to fucking, have butt plugs and be a woman these days. And I can't figure it out why. I do not know why. They want to be Chinese simps. They want to fucking suck at the dick of Kung Pao chicken and want to fucking have this whole idea that they somehow have the answers and that China is so perfect, and China has all these great ideas and inventions and all this shit. When I'm like, do you know the history? Do you know that they kill fucking people? They just murk people. They grab them off the street and murk them. Like, where that shit? Like, their human rights violations are astronomical, but they don't allow people in. And when people do question it, they get fucking murked themselves. Like, China is not nice. It isn't powerful. Its economy is fucking on the brink of collapse.
No one was arguing
It doesn't have an
So
infrastructure.
what is the tariffs doing to China right now?
China is like basically saying we're already broke and we're fucking crippling further. They have entire cities that are empty. They built this shit with money from your tax dollars, and they're empty. There's no one living.
No one was arguing that. I mean,
Well,
I guess that's one way to deflect from the point. I guess.
You should go look it up about those cities that China's building. You wanted to attack Israel, and then you wanted to say China told me. So that's your gist. Is Israel says China told me.
So you gotta listen. You gotta listen.
The Jewish people were the reason for Charlie Kirk being assassinated, which is the furthest from the fucking
What
truth.
is this?
You fucking communist.
You're doing some like Karen S type shit right now. That wasn't the quote, or that wasn't the point. I'm saying China. I was just saying China used their voice to say that America and Israel betrayed the world, and further, Netanyahu is making us complicit in his crime. Nothing about the Jews, because some Jews believe it.
Is
It's
Netanyahu.
nothing about the Jews.
Wait.
Because a
What
lot of
crimes
Jews
did
believe.
Netanyahu commit? What crimes? Give me the crime. Sit up. Don't Google it. Don't fucking Google it. Don't
You have one crime.
I don't think the fucking.
You have one crime where Netanyahu, right?
Wait. What's the fucking crime?
The crime where Netanyahu led the people that he was supposed to negotiate with for yes, it is. Into new territory.
What is the fucking
right? Into territory.
What neutral territory? What territory is neutral?
Second, the overkill in Gaza. Second, the overkill in Gaza. Second, the overkill in
There is
Gaza.
no neutral territory around Israel. There is no neutrality around Israel. What neutral territory are you talking about?
Gaza is his second.
Gaza is not a neutral.
The overkill in
It is
Gaza
not a
is his
neutral
second.
territory.
Starving the Palestinians. Starving the Palestinians is his third. Starving the Palestinians is his third.
Othello, you know what is so really listen, you know what is so unsubstantial about what you're saying, and in a long line of those who criticize Israel, sometimes rightly, sometimes very wrongly. Look, there's been more sanctions against Israel than North Korea, despite North Korea threatening World War III, right? There's been more resolutions against Israel, right, than any other country in the world. So I don't see the neutrality of this.
I don't want to do the what about it. I'm talking about what's happening on the grounds right now. The what
You
about
don't even know what's
Take
happening in
that, put that in the toilet.
neutral territory. You can't name a crime, and you're citing all this
I
shit
just
because
named
you
three
think there's
crimes.
some Chinese
I
rhetoric
just named
about.
three
You
crimes.
didn't give anything.
I
You
just
haven't
named three
provided
crimes.
one fact.
I
You
just
can't
named
back
three
up to
crimes.
substantiate one
I
fact.
just named
You
three
can't.
crimes.
You didn't name a crime.
I
There's
just
no
named three
neutrality
crimes.
around Israel.
I just named three crimes.
There is no neutrality
Hold on,
around
Brad.
Israel.
Let them go at it, dude.
No, I was just gonna mention something. Monica text messaged me. She said you need to get your niggers in check.
Amazing. Alright, go ahead.
I let him know. Monica.
Did she really do that?
Yeah, she did.
No, she didn't. Alright, come on. You guys continue.
But again, there's no neutrality. This idiot is.
Wait, hold on.
You haven't even cited one fucking crime. You haven't
I just
cited
named
one
three crimes.
example.
I
You
just
haven't
named
backed
three
it up. Netanyahu has not violated
I just named three crimes.
any of the quote
I
neutrality
just named three
agreements that are
crimes.
out there that you claim exist.
I just
Because
named three
it's not
crimes.
there. All you want to do
I
is blame
just named
Jewish
three crimes.
people. That's what you is. That's what you have. You're like, I want to stand with pro-Hamas fucking cocksuckers that want
You
to
were
fucking
just
murder
anti-Semitic
people,
last
want to rape
week.
American citizens.
Brad,
Are
you
there
were just
Chinese countries? I can
anti-Semitic
tell you
last
this.
week. What
On
happened?
October 7th, there were Americans that were raped, tortured, kidnapped.
You were just
and you know that
anti-Semitic last
for nothing
week,
more
Brad.
than going to a music fucking
Wait, am I the only
festival.
person
And
that heard
act
Brad
like you want to
anti-Semitic
support this
rant?
side that fucking
You were
rapes
just
Americans.
anti-Semitic rant
Fuck
last
you.
week.
Fuck your shit. Fuck your little wannabe
We
ass.
can't trust
Go the
you.
fuck home.
Brad,
Get
we
the fuck
can't
out of my
trust you.
country.
You were just
Go do whatever
anti-Semitic
cut
last
you
week.
want to stick for and go
No,
die there
he
so
was
we
just
put a warhead
anti-Semitic
on
last week.
your
What
forehead.
happened?
Get
Did he
the
get
fuck
blessed
out
from
of
the
here.
ground by
I
Hashem?
don't give a fuck. You fucking
did
are
he have
against
some
Americans.
grand awakening?
You're okay with rape, torture,
Did he have some
kidnapping,
grand
and
awakening?
murder of Americans. You support the
just
fucking group
anti-Semitic
that
last
did
week.
that shit. That's
We
what
go
you
one
are.
at a
You
time.
fucking cock monkey piece of shit.
Brad, you were just anti-Semitic last week. Now you're anti-black.
No one has
What's
ever
going
heard me
on?
be anti-Semitic.
What's going on?
No one has ever heard me. Fuck you.
You were
Fuck that horse.
anti-Semitic,
Fuck
and you
everything
did the
you said.
same rant against the Jew, and you
I never gave you a rant against the Jews.
Yes, you did. Last week in my
Just give
friends
me
room.
the fucking audio clip. Because I can promise you in 5 years,
Listen,
I have never said anything
Brad
anti-Semitic
has
about
never
you.
been
I don't give
anti-Semitic.
a fuck.
We don't know who the
Connie has. Brad
Brad has
has not.
never been anti-Semitic. I
Yeah, Connie has.
I can't be because I have a heritage of Ashkenazi either. So I don't.
He was anti-Semitic in my friend's room just last week. Okay? He was doing the same shit where he goes off on anybody that has a different opinion than him.
Israel, or critiquing someone who comes in and gives a lie about Israel, gives a lie about something else, and pushing back saying, hey, no, we are perfect angels, we do all this shit. That's not fucking being anti-Semitic, you fucking twat waffle. That is not. What I said was when that idiot came up there and said, we're not killing people, we're doing the most righteous and religious and moral war without the least amount of carnage or damage, and I said, that's bullshit because I can pull up the videos of missiles attacking. You can critique Israel's stance. You can critique the politics of Israel. Fuck the country before October 7th was marching in the goddamn streets. I can go ahead and do that. But what I don't do is sit there and condemn a whole group of people. And I sure as shit don't sit there and side with the people that fucking raped, tortured, and murdered American fucking citizens at a music festival and then say, oh, Israel's the problem. Israel's the problem. No, you're the fucking problem.
We literally doing the same thing.
You're the fucking
We're
problem.
literally doing the
You
same
stay being the fucking problem.
We're literally doing the
You
same
need to have
thing.
your head
We're
fucking
literally
beaten
doing
in.
the same
I
thing.
want this. I want
just
BLM.
exposed
I want
yourself.
no
You just
I want
exposed yourself.
American
You just
JLS.
exposed
American.
yourself.
American lives
Bradley.
fucking matter. You
Bradley,
piece of
you
shit.
just exposed
You
yourself.
vile,
You're
disgusting
doing the
human
same
being.
thing.
When you figure out your priorities, then you can come talk to me.
You're doing the same
Until
thing,
then,
Bradley.
you stay in your fucking
Bradley,
ratchet
you're doing the
Palestinian
same thing.
fucking Hamas,
You're doing the
fucking
same thing,
Amazon,
Bradley.
whatever fucking bullshit
You're doing
you
the
want to
same
do.
thing.
I don't give a fuck. I'm doing. I stand in between you and the fucking and people everywhere. Has fucking shit.
We're doing the same thing, baby
Stupid
boy.
fucking idiot.
We're doing
Go
the same
back and
thing,
pretend
Bradley.
that you're a fucking
Hey,
Chinese
Bradley.
girl. Make your little
Bradley, you were
voices on
anti-Semitic
TV
last
and go
week. Now
back to
you're
doing your
anti-Chinese.
fucking OnlyFans for fucking gay Chinese men. That's what you need to do.
You were
Fucking
anti-Semitic
piece
just
of
last
shit
week.
faggots.
Why the change? You were anti-Semitic just last week. You went on your whole rant against the Jews just last week in my friend's room. Oh, what changed? Did you have some grand realization by Hashem? What happened?
But I had to be bipolar because I've been watching Brad and I've never seen him act like that.
I don't care what it is.
He's making shit up. And he's
We
fucking
don't
going
care.
a story about Israeli politics and being anti-Semitism.
Brad, are we not familiar with each other from
Yeah,
other
we've known each other
houses?
5 fucking years. Like this is a whole thing. Even the Jewish community on fucking Clubhouse. So this little twat who brought this.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
We got no
Y'all said all the
in
rooms are
the
recorded.
Jewish community on Clubhouse.
You guys said all the rooms are recorded?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go get the recording.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm gonna hold a fucking master room, and we're gonna analyze.
First off, the 2 people that came to your room.
We're gonna analyze
right out
it
there
word for
is
word,
proof
and
that
you
you
better
can't
hope.
hold a massive
You
room.
better hope Kitover doesn't have the.
But the
recording.
thing about it
You
is,
better hope.
but the thing about it is, I'm Ashkenazi descent, and I know about more rooms than you do, and you don't got nothing on Brad.
Listen, honey, you wasn't in the room when I heard it, okay?
Okay, girlfriend.
Why you sound so gay, Ella?
Go ahead and
It
do
was
this
my
for
friend's
entertainment.
Akima, did you hear that
to?
Just for entertainment.
It was my friend's room, and you were not in there, honey. I was in there, other Jews were in there, and other people were in there. And we all heard his anti-Semitic
Bring
views
one
off
of the Jews here then. Bring one of
He's
those.
off the rails.
Go ahead. Bring
He
him in.
can't control himself. Look how he's trying
All
to
right,
twist my
Brian, I'll be the determining factor here. Go tell me what you said.
Very simple. I believe someone came up and said Israel is doing a perfect, war. It's the most moral. The same fucking bullshit, optic-wise rhetoric that you've heard on Clubhouse from pro-Israel. I personally say they should just go in and fucking carpet bomb the entire area. I don't give a fuck. Kill grandma, kill fucking whatever. I don't give a fuck. First, they attacked and killed Americans. I've always said that. I don't give a fuck about the people of Gaza. I really don't. I don't care. I don't care about human rights. I don't give a fuck. War is war. But you can tell the twat waffles who have never wore a uniform, which is
not anti-Semitic.
So,
you can only be anti-Semitic against Jews.
That was
so, and then here's my point.
Anti-Semitism just means the hatred of Jews.
But for people of Israel or pro-Israel to come up here and say, we are doing the most moral. War is fucking war. I am not giving you like an A in the moral category.
Yeah, I want to bomb Gaza too.
Yeah, you can fucking drop bombs. You're killing civilians. That happens in war.
Brad, answer
Don't
this question.
spare this shit. And again, so I can critique it. Israel has a problem with its civil rights. It's going to have a realization and a culture clash in regards to that. It also needs justice reform, which is why half the country was protesting.
Yeah, every Jew on earth agrees with that.
Yeah, so I'm
not anti-Semitic.
Brad, you didn't tell that Jewish guy this is why everyone hates you? In my friend's room?
It's not anti-Semitic.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Did you say it, Brad?
That's why people get pissed off at Jewish people. Yes, because they come in there with that when that guy was
we're super arrogant and
you guys said this is why everyone hates you?
I mean, it's because we're superior.
Anti-Semitic, dipshit.
Oh, I'm just asking. Did you say it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
That's not anti-Semitic. It's not anti-Semitic to do that.
We get down to there's more stuff. But I've established.
Yeah, Othello, we are arrogant and condescending to you people because we're better than you, Othello.
I've established that
here's the point. When you have these Israeli guys come in, and not that I let Othello fucking go off on Jewish people, that way his anti-Semitic ass. But what I push back on those like very arrogant Israeli individuals who come in and say that Israel can do no wrong. And then you look at the history of it and say, I can highlight this. And currently, the people of the state are marching in the street about justice reform and reformation and civil rights in fucking Israel. Well, then that proves to be a problem that Israel is not absolutely perfect.
Brad, I can tell you one thing that Jews will really care about. Do you believe that Israel has the right to exist as a state?
Of course it has the right to.
There you go. That's all Jews care about.
Okay, well,
anything else is just conjecture.
Go through what he said.
Who cares?
Piece by piece. I'm gonna hold a grand master.
I mean,
we gonna go.
But like I said, Othello, we're above you. You're beneath us. The highest median IQ of any ethnic group on earth. We don't know more wealth than any other group on earth, especially per capita. Just saying. So Brad's saying that we're like arrogant and that people hate us. I mean, that's justified. That's justified. As long as we own you, we don't care if you're mad at us, though. You can be mad at us all you want.
Oh my goodness.
All right, this is getting boring. I mean,
I said that 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, never come from me.
And that's what Monica said.
What I don't get is like the blacks, like your guys' whole thing with Jews. Like, why do you care about them so much?
It's not about Jews.
Othello definitely is anti-Semitic. He
only
fucking
Brad
hates
said
Jews.
stuff about all Jews. This is why they hate you.
Othello, you're one of the most anti-Semitic people I've met on here.
Only Brad has
You
been
hate the
reporting
Jews,
things
Othello.
about Jews.
Yeah, but what he said was not anti-Semitic.
We've all said that because when everybody knows when you criticize Israel, there's a certain group of Jews who get upset. The first thing they want to respond with is you're anti-Semitic, just for even mild criticism of Israel. So it's just like what the blacks do. When you give blacks criticism about the black community, first thing they want to do is what? Call you fucking racist. So all people have called out is what it does is it makes you look bad. Just like anybody, it shuts down the fucking conversation and the debate and makes it look like you fucking lost. That's the criticism.
And even if even if you have a mixed heritage, you get your black card stolen. And they'll whisper things behind your back like, well, I don't like Delia because she's Native American, or you don't act black enough, you don't talk proper enough, which messed my head up as a child because I failed poorly in English and literature classes for some time. But yeah, that is true. That I don't care who you are, if you are not talking about what they want to talk about on their vibe with black people, your card will be taken from you.
Yeah, so it gets old, Othello, because people want to have a conversation, and again, it goes against American values of freedom of speech, which includes criticism, whatever you want, race, religion, whatever you want. You should be able to criticize it and be able to have a conversation. But when people immediately they want to call you homophobe, xenophobe, racist, anti-Semitic, whatever, when you haven't been disrespectful, you haven't condoned any type of violence or taking away people's rights, you just simply want to criticize and have a conversation. It's lame as fuck, and nobody appreciates it.
I agree, and that's what Brad tried to do to me when I was bringing up my point. And so I just have the mirror up to him, and I'm saying, okay, you want to play that game?
I think you gotta put your boots back on his neck.
We got the recording on you.
Then play it. You act like I'm scared. You act like I haven't been on Clubhouse nor had some of the largest political rooms that existed out here. Like, I've held the same fucking language, the same stance for literally everybody. I critique white people. Othello doesn't get up in his like little fucking fake vagina feeling that way when I critique white people. When I was critiquing the fucking whatever, the one Israeli pro IDF guy who is like, we're angels of God, kind of coming down. He didn't get upset then. When it comes to it, and let me, this is the same guy who is literally fucking pro-Americans getting killed, and he's pro-China. Like, at the end of the day, I can't make this shit up. But I've held these rooms, and I hold the same stance. I've never waffled on my critique of Israel. I don't care. But I also said there are Americans, there are Jewish Americans, and the minute they were touched in Israel, and I've said from day one, I wished we would have carpet bombed the fuck out of Gaza. I would have made a McDonald's, a fucking Popeye's chicken, and a Walmart, and put it over them and said, here is the Gaza fucking shopping mall. That's what I would have done. Because the minute you touch an American, I have a fucking massive problem. I don't care what race, culture, or ethnicity you are in fucking America. I care that if somebody else from another place in this world, another country, another fucking little wannabe terrorist band touches an American, I want to fucking kill you. I want your ancestors. I want your fucking children. I want all of your offspring. I want them eliminated. I want the fear so big that when people say, hey, that's an American, other people run when they want to do bad shit. I want Americans to walk the globe in peace and security, and they should have that. They have paid for that with sweat, blood, money, treasure. They've sent their kids off to die in foreign wars on foreign soil to ensure that. We should have that. And if Israel, thank you for returning hostages. I will hand that off to you. You have my deepest, sincerest appreciation because the cuckold fucking Biden administration didn't do that. And he didn't unleash our 25 fucking 100 devil dogs that wanted to go in and fucking get our Americans back. Thank you, IDF, for returning at least them. I am grateful for that. But still, I want the heads of fucking Hamas. I'm proud that the IDF sent beepers and blew up fucking nuts off of fucking part of these collabs and terrorists. I'm happy that they struck in Qatar because at least they're doing something. But to sit there and say it's a holy war and that they're doing it perfectly and they're not harming anybody, you're full of shit. Stop with this whole Jewishes are the superheroes and you're doing it on a moral basis. You're conducting war. You're killing women and children. It's okay. It's part of fucking war. Civilians always pay the price in every fucking war. It does not matter. But you know what? Hats off to it because I'm with you. I would have fucking steamrolled through.
What I'm saying is, Brad, I'm a master chess player. Don't ever play the
You're not a fucking master anything.
Don't
you
know
how to play checkers.
Dude, Othello,
you can't even get that code right.
Don't ever play the
talking about?
Othello, here's the problem. Othello, here's the problem. And so I've been letting you guys go at it. Now, look, dude, just like how, personally, I would like, I just want...
I want to play you
your chest right now. That's what I want to do.
Let's do it.
But like when it comes to the thing is though, we were just having a conversation about what was posted up above, and then like for whatever stupid reason you start bringing up Jews, and it's just like we don't care. Now there are some. If you wanted to criticize maybe certain bills, BDS laws, sure we could have done that, but like this is. The speech that Pam Bondi was talking about had nothing to fucking do with Israel or Jews.
Why are we talking about
It's just
Jews?
obnoxious.
Why are we bringing up Jews?
You brought them up.
Yeah,
No,
you
I
brought
brought
it up.
Netanyahu.
No, you brought up how Brad's an anti-Semite
I brought up
and
Netanyahu.
Yahoo
I
and
didn't
Israel,
bring Jews. Why are
and
we
how
talking
much
about
you hate the Jews.
Why are we talking about Jews?
Because you brought up the fact that, well, not the fact, but you brought up that Brad was anti-Semitic, so that's how we got on.
And then Othello, you went into a rant about how you would have killed all the Jews.
He said that trying to go to him about America and Israel, and then he wanted to go off on his policies.
Look at Stig sitting in the back.
And again, the gay laugh really
Everybody in the audience remember what I just said and spread the word far and wide.
Shit, if you can make baseless claims against Brad, why are you gonna get mad when someone does the same?
It's not baseless. It's not baseless. Oh,
You never provided any evidence, so.
Okay.
Dude, me saying, dude, I've told Jews, like, dude, every time you open your mouth, you just create another anti-Semite, dude, because, like, you're just a whiny, bitch that just, like, tries to shut down speech by saying, no, that's offensive, that's anti-Semitic, you get some Jews that are, like, really fucking whiny, and
We do feel that way about
really
the
bad
French
look.
after meeting Pepe, though.
I don't feel that way.
Because you just say they were the French Jews.
I don't feel that way. They have a right to speak out against people.
If Richard said they were the French Jews, I'm going to give you that one because that one might be true.
Just because I want to deflect
I
the
think
point.
Pepe is.
Stop it.
I'm not Jewish.
You know your DNA.
My brothers have. There's literally 0%.
Only goes back 6 generations.
I don't know what to say.
No, you just act Jewish. That's all.
Amazing.
But I do think you talked
You're
about
more
Jews
bitchy than
too
no.
much. I do think he talks. I agree with Cleto. He does talk about Jewish people too much. If anyone should be talking about it, it should be me. But I don't even talk about it that much.
Who's talking?
You do
No,
whine. You do whine. You do
What
whine.
did I say about Jews?
Well, for one, you said you're going to bring them into. You're going to bring all these tapes for these imaginary rooms where Brad was talking.
What's wrong with talking about Jews though? What's wrong with that?
Look, Connie, you playing that game too? Come on, they got you up to this too.
Well, no, we don't mind if people talk shit about Jews. It's Odell's claiming.
Yeah, you can talk shit about them all you want. You can talk shit about them all you want.
Yeah, just be honest.
Okay, all right.
You can talk shit about them all you want, but it's like if it's not like if we're having a conversation about something totally unrelated, and then somebody just uses an excuse to bring up Jews, it's like,
Okay, Thug, imagine Pepe stood up here right now and said that he's never said the N-word. Would you crash out on him?
Nah, because I know it's not true.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're doing with Othello. Othello's like, I love the Jews. But he spits in their face all the time.
You got any proof of that?
Your words.
Okay, my words about Netanyahu.
No, your Israel Gaza genocide and the Palestinians and
Netanyahu represent all Jews.
Oh God, you're so annoying, Othello.
Oh, there we go.
No, he doesn't represent all Jews everywhere.
Go back into your rat cave.
That's the dumbest fucking take ever. He does not represent all Jews. Why? If he did, why was half the country protesting?
Exactly.
You dumb motherfucker.
Ooh, you hit it right on the nail, Brad.
I knew it. Like I'm just done with the whole you know what? Pisses me off about this the most is fucking cuckolds like you who fucking want to cry about the Jews, and then you're like on your knees. The Jews are taken away. I blame the Jews. The Jews are the source of everything wrong in the world. My life would be perfectly fine without X group. That's what you tell people, and that's the problem you have. And then you're gonna cry that
We only got you recording saying
white
that.
people
We
sat
only
there
have
and
you
said, you know what?
recording saying
My
that.
country would be
We
better
only
without
have you
black
saying
Play whatever game you want to. I'm not your
Brad, do you think it's anti-Semitic to blame everything in the entire world on the Jews?
I'm your worst nightmare, Brad.
Sounds like a
Don't ever play with me.
Dude, you're not. A gay black man is not my worst nightmare. A gay black man
Alright, this is getting old.
is not my worst nightmare. A gay black man who lives on his knees in his mom's basement is not my worst nightmare.
I'm not, okay, alright, like, Mattello, shut up! Holy shit.
That's a good boy.
So, yeah, I guess, you know, we have the free speech, conversation. What else is there?
Yeah, how we're afraid of gay black men.
So, I mean, I do think it's funny, people kind of, trying to recycle old content on this, you know, on this app. We all know who the king of the white identitarian clubhouse was, and that was me, obviously.
Was, I think you still are, man.
Yeah.
Wait, has JB came in?
Is it okay to be proud to be white? Gay? I mean,
You might have to step up your game though, Pepe. Just because you know, it's about to set up, so you're gonna have to step up a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, fine, fuck it. I don't know. I mean, if other people see themselves as a community, this is how I look at it. Actually, let me change something real quick.
Ooh, Abby's here, bring Abby in.
Amazing. Well, I'm just curious.
Oh, she's in a press conference.
No, I think maybe she's saying
Guys,
that
the
there is a
press
press
conference just started. Yeah.
For what?
They're announcing the charges. It's in Utah. It's a district attorney from the county now speaking. I don't know how to stream. You guys know how to do that. You might want to stream it.
Let me see if I can find it live.
Firefox.
Haven't they already said what they're going to charge him with or no?
Yeah, that's what they're saying now.
Aggravated murder or something?
Well, they're gonna announce it.
Oh, while we're waiting on that, Abby, have you ever heard anything that Othello said that can be considered anti-Semitic?
Like every second sentence. The Jew hatred should be his middle name. All right, guys, I'm going back to the press conference.
You just got drunk by Abby.
Let me see if I can stream the press conference. Oh, here it is. I'll stream it.
Is that PP?
It's PP.
What press conference is that?
The one about they're gonna announce the charges.
County DA. It's state charges right now. It's the county DA.
The state charges on the guy.
County attorney, I am charged with bringing justice to those who offend our laws. I am charged with bringing justice for those who are harmed. I am charged with bringing justice for Charlie Kirk. I am committed to these aims. I take this responsibility seriously. Today, after reviewing the evidence that law enforcement has collected thus far, I am filing a criminal information charging Tyler James Robinson, age 22, with the following crimes. Count 1, aggravated murder, a capital offense for intentionally or knowingly causing the death of Charlie Kirk under circumstances that created a great risk of death to others. Count 2, felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury, a first-degree felony. The state is further alleging aggravating factors on counts 1 and 2 because the defendant is believed to have targeted Charlie Kirk based on Charlie Kirk's political expression and did so knowing that children were present and would witness the homicide. The state is also charging defendant with count 3, obstruction of justice, a second-degree felony for moving and concealing the rifle used in the shooting. Count 4, obstruction of justice, a second-degree felony for disposing the clothing he wore during the shooting. Count 5, witness tampering, a third-degree felony for directing his roommate to delete his incriminating texts. Count 6, witness tampering, a third-degree felony for directing his roommate to stay silent if police questioned him. And count 7, commission of a violent offense in the presence of a child, Class A misdemeanor, for committing homicide knowing that children were present and may have seen or heard the murder and did so based on Charlie Kirk's political expression. Also, following the press conference, I am filing a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. I do not take this decision lightly, and it is a decision I have made independently as county attorney, based solely on the available evidence and circumstances and nature of the crime. Because we are seeking the death penalty, the defendant will continue to be held without bail in the Utah County Jail. Turning to the 10-page information, these are the allegations. On September 10th, 2025, at approximately 12:23 p.m., Charlie Kirk was shot and killed while speaking to a large crowd on the campus of Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. Police found the suspected murder weapon, a bolt-action .30-06 rifle, nearby. For the next approximately 33 hours, police conducted a manhunt for the shooter until the evening of September 11th, 2025, when Tyler James Robinson surrendered to police at the Washington County Sheriff's Office. DNA consistent with Robinson was found on the rifle's trigger. After shooting Mr. Kirk, Robinson hid the gun, discarded the clothing he wore when he fired the rifle, and told his roommate to delete incriminating text messages and not talk to police. Children were present at the time of the shooting. The shooting. Turning Point USA, a nonprofit organization founded in 2012 by Charlie Kirk, organized a public outdoor event to be held at noon on September 10th, 2025 at UVU. The event was the first in a series of similar events to be held at college campuses nationwide. Mr. Kirk is a well-known conservative activist, famous for these type of events where he discusses various political issues and debates with audience members. His events and comments have garnered a significant number of supporters and drawn the ire of many who disagree with his political views. The event at UVU was announced far in advance and garnered significant publicity and interest. Consequently, several hundred people attended. Mr. Kirk was interacting with a crowd before the event officially got underway. Then, at approximately noon, Mr. Kirk seated himself under a portable canopy behind a table and microphone. He began speaking to the crowd and fielding questions from attendees, a format Mr. Kirk commonly used at his events. Mr. Kirk allowed his questioners to approach a microphone positioned directly in front of him. Mr. Kirk's team members were very close to him on his right and left, as well as some behind his canopy and others at various close locations near him. The large tree sides. Temporary metal fencing separated attendees from Mr. Kirk by only a number of feet. Directly above and behind Mr. Kirk was the UVU Hall of Flags, an indoor walkway spanning several hundred feet with floor-to-ceiling glass windows which overlooked the plaza where Mr. Kirk was seated. People were in the walkway at the time of the shooting. Approximately 15 minutes into the event, Mr. Kirk answering a question about mass shootings by transgender individuals when a gunshot rang out. The bullet struck Mr. Kirk in the neck. He slumped to the ground almost immediately. The bullet's trajectory passed closely to several other individuals beside Mr. Kirk, including the questioner who was standing directly in front of Mr. Kirk. Children were visible near Mr. Kirk's stage when he was shot. Mr. Kirk was rushed to a nearby hospital where he was declared deceased. The medical examiner's report is still pending. So UVU surveillance. So at the moment of the shot, a UVU police officer was watching the crowd from an elevated vantage point. As soon as he heard the shot, he began to scan the area for threats. Believing the shot came from a rifle because of its sound, he looked for potential sniper positions. He noted a roof area approximately 160 yards away from Mr. Kirk as a potential shooting position and rushed there to look for evidence. The suspected shooting position is adjacent to an open, publicly accessible walkway. To access the suspected location, a person must climb over a railing and then drop to the roof only slightly below. The UV officer climbed over the railing and down onto the roof. He then walked to the suspected shooting position and confirmed a clear shooting corridor between the position and Mr. Kirk's seat. He also noticed markings in the gravel rooftop, consistent with a sniper having lain on the roof. Impressions in the gravel, potentially left by the elbows, knees, and feet of a person in a prone shooting position. Police reviewed surveillance from the camera covering the roof and discovered that it recorded an individual dressed in dark clothing cross the railing from the public walkway and drop onto the roof at approximately 12:15 p.m. Although the individual moved out of the camera's view for a short time, the camera again captured the individual running across the roof and then low crawling to the area the UVU officer recognized as where the suspected sniper had dropped into a prone shooting position. After a short time, which matches the known time of the shot, the individual arose and ran across the roof to the northeast. This discovery led to an intensive review of UVU surveillance recordings to attempt to track and identify the suspect. Surveillance revealed the following. At approximately 11:51 a.m., the suspect entered campus from the north. He is seen wearing a black shirt with an American flag in the center, a dark baseball cap, and large sunglasses. Throughout the surveillance, the suspect keeps his head down and rarely raises his head enough to get a clear image of his face. As he proceeds across the campus, he is seen walking with an unusual gait. The suspect walks with very little bending in his right leg, consistent with a rifle being hidden in his pants. This unusual gait continues until the suspect is seen crossing the railway off the open walkway and onto the roof, where he leaves the camera view. A camera later captures the suspect as he runs across the roof to the suspected shooting position. Immediately after the shot was fired, a camera captures the suspect running across the roof carrying an item whose shape is consistent with a rifle. The suspect is then seen climbing down from the roof. He appears off the item he was carrying as he hits the ground and in control. He then picks up the item and runs toward the northeast end of campus. Expanded crime scene investigation. Law enforcement officers followed the suspect's escape path northeast end of campus, where they believe the suspect left camp and entered a wooded area. In that wooded area, investigators found a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a towel. The rifle contained 1 spent round and 3 unspent rounds. This is consistent with the facts officers observed at the time of and immediately after the shootings. No shell casings were found on the roof, suggesting a bolt-action rather than auto-loading weapon, and only a single round was fired. Each round in the rifle contained an etched inscription as follows. The fired cartridge was etched, no Tices bulge, O-W-O, what's this? The second cartridge that was again not spent, the last 3 were not spent, were not fired. The second, hey fascist, catch, with arrow symbols. The third cartridge, oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow. The fourth cartridge, if you read this, you are gay, LMAO. The rifle, ammunition rounds, and towel were sent for forensic processing. DNA consistent with defendant was found on the trigger, other parts of the rifle, the fired cartridge casing, 2 of the 3 unfired cartridges, and the towel. Lunch was unable to immediately locate the shooter, so they published photos that are from the UVU surveillance cameras and asked for the public's help to identify him. Meanwhile, law enforcement continued to try to identify the shooter through other means. The Washington County investigation. On the evening of September 11th, 2025, as law enforcement continued their investigation, Tyler James Robinson went to the Washington County Sheriff's Office with his parents and a family friend to turn himself in. Robinson's mother stated that the following to police. On September 11th, 2025, the day after the shooting, Robinson's mother saw the photo of the shooter in the news and thought the shooter looked like her son. Robinson's mother called her son and asked him where he was. He said he was at home sick and that he had also been at home homesick on September 10th. Robinson's mother expressed concern to her husband that the suspect shooter looked like Robinson. Robinson's father agreed. Robinson's mother explained that over the last year or so, Robinson had become more political and had started to lean more to the left, becoming more pro-gay and trans rights oriented. She stated that Robinson began to date his roommate, a biological male who was transitioning genders. This resulted in several discussions with family members, but especially between Robinson and his father, who have very different political views. In one conversation before the shooting, Robinson mentioned that Charlie Kirk would be holding an event at UVU, which Robinson said was a stupid venue for the event. Robinson accused Kirk of spreading hate. Robinson's father reported that when his wife showed him the surveillance image of the suspected shooter in the news, he agreed that it looked like their son. He also believed that the rifle that police suspected the shooter used matched a rifle that was given to his son as a gift. As a result, Robinson's father contacted his son and asked him to send a photo of the rifle. Robinson did not respond. However, Robinson's father spoke on the phone with Robinson. Robinson implied that he planned to take his own life. Robinson's parents were able to convince him to meet at their home. As they discussed the situation, Robinson implied that he was the shooter and stated that he couldn't go to jail and just wanted to end it. When asked why he did it, Robinson explained there is too much evil and the guy, referring to Charlie Kirk, spreads too much hate. They talked about Robinson turning himself in and convinced Robinson to speak with a family friend who is a retired deputy sheriff. At Robinson's father's request, the family friend met with Robinson and his parents and convinced Robinson to turn himself in. The family friend spoke to police and reported telling Robinson that it would be best if he brought all evidence with him to the sheriff's office to avoid police having to search his parents' home. The friend also asked Robinson if he had any clothes that were related to what he did. Robinson replied that he had disposed of the clothes in different areas. The roommate. Police interviewed Robinson's roommate, a biological male who was involved in a romantic relationship with Robinson. The roommate told police that the roommate received messages from Robinson about the shooting, and he did provide those messages to police. On September 10th, 2025, the roommate received a text message from Robinson which said, "Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard." The roommate looked under the keyboard and found a note that stated, quote, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." Police found a photograph of this note. The following text exchange then took place. After reading the note, the roommate responded, "What? You're joking, right?" Robinson, "I am still okay, my love, but I'm stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I'd hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you." Roommate, "You weren't the one who did it, right?" Robinson, I am. I'm sorry." Roommate, "I thought they caught the person." Robinson, "No, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering." Roommate, "Why?" Robinson, "Why did I do it?" Roommate, "Yeah." Robinson, "I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it." Roommate, "How long have you been planning this?" Robinson, "A bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there is a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it." Robinson again, "I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle. I'm worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring back Grandpa's rifle. IDEK if it's had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about prints I had in a bush where I changed outfits. Didn't have the ability or time to with. I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find prints. How the F will I explain losing it to my old man? Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. Remember how I was engraving bullets? The effing messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notice bulge UWU on Fox News, I might have a stroke, all right. I'm gonna have to leave it. That really effing sucks. Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine. IDK. I think that was a $2K scope. Robinson again, delete this exchange. Again, Robinson, my dad wants photos of the rifle. He says, Grandpa wants to know who